Hello everybody and welcome to Matrix Live episode 9, coming to you in the rain from a dodgy back alley somewhere in Berlin, where we are this week. I've been talking to folks in the Ethereum community, getting to know them and trying to help our quest for funding. I'm back from holiday.
Welcome back.
Thank you. So without further ado, let's what's happening with funding, Amandine?
So we do have some big news this week with a new sponsor in the form of Omisego. Sorry if we're getting the pronunciation wrong, I'm not sure yet. But basically the guys are providing a new wallet and decentralized exchange platform for cryptocurrency. And thank you guys for giving over some huge donation this week. With your Ethereum, and you've launched as well a big call for help for other ICOs to share a bit of your luck, and that's very nice. In terms of the Patreon and Liber, Apay and others, numbers are still growing, but obviously we're still a bit far away from actually getting a full person funded working on Matrix. And we still have a few other corporate discussions ongoing, but nothing more concrete yet.
Yeah. It was really cool to see the donation coming in from Omisego, pretty much out of the blue. So I was, I think, a conversation on Twitter where somebody said, "Hey guys, Matrix is cool. You use them," and so they contributed to Ethereum. So thank you so much, guys. So meanwhile, over on the Synapse side of things, group work has been progressing all over the place. We've also got some end-to-end fixes landing in the last couple of days, going and fixing some of the various exciting membership bugs and end-to-end encryption bugs which we've been seeing there. And on Dendrite, there's been a lot of work happening too, getting third-party invites into place. And you might be wondering, why the hell are we messing around doing third-party invites, inviting people by email address and phone number? But the reality is that without them, you can't federate the more complicated rooms, in that the second that it sees the third-party invite, it suddenly falls apart. So hopefully this is going to improve things a lot. Brendan's been working away on that. And also we've had Eric and Rich VDH coming up to speed on the code base, finishing off the side test integration work, and also doing a bunch of kind of code hygiene stuff, getting linting sorted out and that sort of thing. Meanwhile on Riot?
On the client side, we have Dark Theme landed on iOS this week, and Yannick has spent a full week to catch up on all the bugs and crashes that have come, which came up during holidays. So he's been also catching up this week on the GT integration. We also have cold start integration, which has been landing. I think it's finished on the GT, both on the web and iOS. And,
so this was the really cool donation from CoreStats to help us track all of the WebRTC core capabilities and performance, so that when people say, "Oh, my Jitsi broke," we actually have some hope in hell of seeing what was going on. And also the Android release is actually out as of today. I think we've just pushed 0.7 or something, I forget the version number, but basically it's got all of Unique's desperate bug fixes in that, which is looking good.
And on the website, lots of performances work. The groups have been progressing and very well. Dave is working very
I just glossed over all of my performance work. I actually did a
on
bit
the
of work myself.
Yes.
Yeah,
but on the group side, I'm saying.
Okay. So yeah, groups is progressing, which is great and everything, but the performance stuff is really cool.
Because Matthew did it.
Not just because I did it. I haven't actually done any of it. It's Dave who's been doing the heavy lifting of it. But basically, it's something that's been bugging me for years and years, and especially whilst I was on holiday the last couple of days, I've been lying on the beach worrying about performance on RightWeb. Because it used to be awesome. It used to be like 30, 40 milliseconds to switch between rooms, which is ludicrously fast. And went and benchmarked current Riot develop, and it takes 417 milliseconds to change rooms. So almost half a second to switch between fairly boring rooms. And that's on a boring account. It hasn't got thousands of rooms or anything. And that's a bit sad, really. And so I think a couple of days ago I went through the whole list to basically looked at Proto-Vector, before we even called it Vector, then Vector 0.1.0, and then RightWeb as it is today, to trying to work out where the hell the performance has gone. over the years. And it was kind of interesting and did a lot of profiling, especially with the latest Chrome development tools, which looks pretty cool. If you're interested, go and look on Bugzilla, not Bugzilla, God, what decade am I in? Go and look and look at GitHub on the RightWeb issues. I think it's issue 5002 or something like that, and it's got a list of the entire performance history of RightWeb. And Dave has been a legend and picked up the kind of analysis and has been busy going and optimizing it, going and getting it back down. And if we get that sorted, I reckon we've probably got a factor of 5 or 6 speed up, which we could get on switching room. And you might be wondering why on earth are we so obsessed about switching rooms, but it turns out it's one of the most kind of critical features for feeling snappy as an app. If you can quickly alt tab between different rooms and the app immediately responds and you don't sit there watching it redraw and stuff. So anyway, that's why I think that the performance stuff is really important and really cool.
It is.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
And well, the last thing is on iOS, the CallKit CallKit stuff developed by Dennis during the GSOC program is being merged. Sorry.
I think it was merged today, wasn't it?
Yes, it's starting. It's not finished yet, but it's coming together and should be available very soon, which will be great.
Awesome. So yeah, sorry for the bit of a random one here somewhere. I've no idea where we are, honestly, in Berlin, but we'll be back in London next week. And thank you for watching, and thank you for continuing to support and believe in Matrix. Some of the meetings we've had here have been pretty positive, and I'm hoping that we might have some pretty good news on the funding side to come one way or another sooner or later. But fingers crossed, we're not counting our chickens before they're hatched. And obviously please continue to tell anybody and everybody you know about us, in the hope that they might be a closet billionaire who wants to give us lots and lots of money to keep the project going.
Indeed. Thank you everyone, and speak to you next week. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.